Hello and welcome back, ladies and gents, to our live coverage here. Very short break, and we are waiting for that first pistol round to come in. Of course, no knife round here, Joey, as CEVO rules has that you'll be starting on whichever side you want, depending on who picked the map, of course.
Indeed. Always down for a good knife round, but don't see them here in the best of twos. And I guess they do have their controversy about them anyways. But here we go. Who is this? You mentioned Killerfish. Is this a Killerfish player coming in actually as a substitute today for PENTA Sports?
Tarsin. It might very well be. I'll double check that one second.
I mean, looking at the logo, it looks like a kind of a weird smushed orca whale, which isn't technically a fish, but does sometimes have the nickname Blackfish, so who knows? The logo would lead me to believe it would be a substitute from that other German org we talked about. But already, Penta off to a very good start here on this pistol. Nico and Nex, the two stars that we highlighted the most, have been taken out of this round, and maybe not too surprising because it is pistols, and Tapson is there with the kill. Chris J, though, towards B, is going to bring down Struck. That leaves Gob to hold on, and he will hold on. He'll bring down Tassin, and can he find another? Spiddy is over there. Spiddy over at the bench. And let's see what he can do with that Glock. Fade. Will bring down Chris J. And Crystal now 1v2.
Yeah, so interesting enough, we actually have two step-ins, I think, unless someone's fake nick in here. Tassin and Spiddy, right? Because normally you'd expect Crisby and Stavros to be in. So
yeah, some substitute for mouessports playing for the other team.
Yeah, kind of strange, but it goes to show, you know, they're both German teams. Been around the block together quite a few times. They're going to know each other, and always makes for a very intimate kind of game. But yeah, Spiddy coming in alongside Tarsin, I'm very curious to see how that's going to pay out. I mean, the first round doesn't go their way. It's the pistol, though. Anything can happen in those. Here comes the first buy-up round from mouessports. MP9, Mag7, P90, UMP, M4. It is a mixed bag of weaponry, but definitely good enough to fend off Penta side, and then he said the German side there, but yeah, they both are, as we've highlighted many times, and as you can see at the top of your screen, with the flags, though. Here comes the upgraded buy from Penta. There's pistols with Kevlar, 3 smokes. This is good enough to work on a site with.
Yeah, and I always expect some weird boosts, or just, you know, trying to utilize run boosts, or even throw the triple stacks, which the game actively tries to discourage. Penta with a run boost to peak middle, and then sent that player flying over onto the little mid-wagon boxes. And that actually took Chris J down fairly low. Dennis was playing towards Connector. He's been knocked down to 12 HP also. So mouessports having sustained some damage as they try to survive up against this aggressive Penta push in towards A. But here's Nico with an M4, good for 2, nearly a third. That'll make it a 3-on-3, the weapon advantage. Well, I mean, P90 and a UMP, Tapton has picked up this M4, and he does have full armor and even a smoke and a flash. But Chris J with a little hot flash through, grabs, well, they completely blinded Spiddy. Tapson was kind of busy planning the bomb. And that'll pretty much secure the round. Crystal will miss that jump, but hits a ridiculous shot after the fact onto Gob B. And there's Next to close it down for 900 bucks.
Another little statistic for you as well, although a bit curious for me. I feel maybe slightly unfair, but 90% of people on CSGO Lounge think that mouessports are going to take this. Now, I agree, I think mouessports will, but 90% seems a slight bit unfair to Penta. I'd probably put this at more like a 75-25 for them. But still, you know, it's pretty one-sided. I think a lot of people are expecting mouessports to take this one home pretty convincingly. They do take up the first 2 rounds. It's going to be an eco for Penta. And now Mouse, who have transitioned into 4 assault rifles, have kept the Mag7 in the hands of Nex, who's playing apps, and that's pretty much a standard spot you're expecting to see the Mag7 use. Spiddy with the P250 is going to open up this round nicely onto Chris J, but Tapson pushing down with the pistols. Mentioned how strong he is with them. He's going to meet Nico, the man on fire recently. This guy's been an absolute beast for mouessports. And looking like this is going to edge towards that 3-0 now.
Yeah, more than likely, as Tassin will go down. Crystal here with the Glock is going to at least be able to bring down Nico. He'll take a gun away. But, I mean, on that T side, you're not really looking to save. He'll just try to do some more damage over to the CTs, force him to buy up a little bit more, which could actually hurt them. Any extra death here is going to hurt. And Nex is the only one with $3,100. But, of course, he's got a Mag7, so unless he wants to play B or some cheeky spot over towards A where that Mag7 can work in this first rifle round, he's going to have to buy up as well. And actually, a pause being requested going into this next round. I'm assuming technical at this point. I don't think you'd be taking a tactical right into the first rifle round. Although it is important, but...
Yeah, it's important, but I feel that's something you probably discussed before the match. I would be very surprised if it was tactical. As you say, Very likely just a technical issue they'll try and resolve. No one's dropped from the server, so I'm not sure if it's like a TS problem or something. But anyway, 12 seconds now left on the timer. There we go, Spiddy's just dropped, so that's going to explain it. Crystal has managed to snake his way from behind to make this one damaging for the CTs. Picks himself up 2 frags, and the bomb's been planted. This could actually go the way of Penta, and I was not expecting to see this come into fruition. Crystal snaking his way through Kitchen opens things up. He's on 4 HP. Dennis is coming in. He's capable of clutching this. There's the first frag for him. He's got a defuse kit as well, but the question now is where is Strux? He's opting for the potential apps, but it's actually short where Strux is hiding. Dennis has gone all the way through, and Strux has a Mag 7 as well, so if this goes close range, you're expecting him to win. Instead, Dennis is going to give this one up and keep his M4. Fantastic round for Penta.
Alright, and I just wanted to look up Tassin because I haven't actually had an opportunity to cast or even watch Killer Fish, but it seems like Tassin, according to the HLTV stats, is a pretty solid player for that team, one of the top, so that kind of makes sense why he would, you know, be coming in, moving from that perhaps third German org up towards the second to play the first. So it's a very, very German day, that's for sure. As we will head into the pause, Spitty is gone, and that does mean we are missing Stavros as well as Crisby from Penta. Yep. Those are the 2 guys being substituted for.
He's back.
Oh,
Sweet.
Nice. He's back, so it won't be too much of a delay as Kevin flying around checking out the knives. The knives? Whatever.
Is that... Oh, I was going to say, is that 2 Crimson Webs in a row, but it's actually a fade.
Looked like a karambit.
Karambit.
What was that discussion we had? Karambit or a karambit?
I say karambit, yeah.
Karambit, yeah, that does sound a bit better. It is super easy to add some twang to karambit, though.
Yeah, maybe this is why people were asking if you're from Alabama before. Well, that's
Probably. Yeah, it's not even my fault. I just do so many accents on TeamSpeak for like no purpose whatsoever. Like I speak in a horrible British accent for like the majority of my time on the internet. So it is, I don't know, maybe it's transforming, it's evolving, my accent. As, well, Penta did actually pick up that last round with the bomb going off. And that's big for them. Tapson getting the opening frag here onto a player like Nex. And was he one of the players with the guns? I thought I noticed 2. Dennis
he was
one for sure and is still alive. So that was a pretty nice kill. Maybe Gobby can work his way out there and try to pick it back up. But even still, mouessports here on round 4 are most likely going to be ending this in a tie situation. Dennis will push in with a nice little pop flash as he goes through a ramp and he finds Spitty, but now Tapson and Crystal starting to unload, diminishing the numbers here for mouessports. It is now a 2-on-4. Dennis might find another one for free depending on how long the smoke is going to last. Or it could be Tapson that gets 2 for free.
Oh
wow, so close.
They shoot at the spot and don't land anything, so they think it's safe. Now Tapson is going to get teammates. Oh, dearie me. That's kind of unfortunate, though. Penta have equalized it up, and it will be a buy-in from mouessports. No, it won't be. That was a force. My apologies.
Yeah, it was. They actually lost that third round.
This is a horrific start for mouessports, then.
It definitely is. It's allowing Penta quite a bit of leeway here on their T side to grab some early rounds. I mean, it's Mirage. It can still be thought of as one of the more CT-sided maps, so you're maybe hoping to see, like, okay would be 5 rounds for Penta, and I mean, having 2 already this early on is not a bad start to that. They should find 3 unless something very bad happens, unless Dennis with his CZ does very awful things to Penta Sports on this round. But that seems unlikely. As they're going up towards the catwalk, they're running in into Nex and Gob B. Nico also taken out, and it will be Dennis on rotation, and that's going to make this CZ a lot harder to use.
It certainly will. And now Dennis has to just run away, scamper, try and save this up. Not a fantastic amount to save, but at least it'll give them something else to work with in the next round. And Penta will be taking the lead here, keeping 4 weapons alive as well. What a start from them. And it really did just kind of snowball as, hold that thought for a second, Strux is coming up. He is going to find and frag Dennis, and he'll also pick himself up that CZ just to get a bit more power in his back pocket. But this all came off the back of a very good lurk from Crystal in that third round, where he comes up through Kitchen with the M4, picks off the frag, and a second one gets the bomb planted, and then from there on in, it's been a bit of a landslide towards Penta. But here we go. Another buy-up from mouessports. Let's see if they can start to pull this back themselves.
Yeah, this is where you would expect it to start to change, go mouessports' way, as pretty much everyone is expecting. But given our track record of casting games that people expect to be one-sided from the last 2 days, well, I don't know, man. Crazy things could possibly happen. I was also kind of curious. I mean, Spitty coming in, right? Is the substitute for mouessports, the 6th man, played on that team for quite a bit, went to LAN with those guys. I wonder how much, he's coming into play here for Penta, if he's able to kind of just say, oh, this is what they're doing. Like, if you see Dennis here, or if you see Gombi over here, like, it's probably this strat. Wonder if Spitty is willing to give that away.
That is true. I may know quite a lot about these players, but again, like, knowing is only half the battle. Information is great and all well and good, but it's the execution that counts. And when it comes to aim duels, I'm expecting mouessports to come out ahead. But especially on maps like potentially Dust 2, which mouessports played so much in the past, and he is coming up here, and he could be in the money.
They still have him out.
Oh,
they have no idea. Now they're pulling out a flash.
Oh man, he used a lot of bullets to pick up Strux there. It was a lot more of a difficult kill than he's expecting, so he's running out of ammunition for that second frag. But meanwhile, they're going to be walking into the blender. Nico is there with 2 frags, and he's still alive. Somehow scampering through the smoke on 100%. He's going to push through with a pistol and picks it up onto Tabson, giving mouessports the 2-on-1 advantage here. Crystal's coming up through jungle, 17 HP left, and Nico with that huge 3-man keeps mouessports just about in this one, 3-3.
That spray down from Nico was really nice. I mean, he had those players lined up. Granted, they were pretty far apart. He starts his spray on the close guy and is able to just hold the trigger down and continue that spray to get the person kind of right next to Tetris. I think that was kind of impressive because while the first few bullets of that M4 are super accurate, I really actually don't like the spray pattern of the M4. I feel much more comfortable with something like the AK, but I mean, Nico, clearly the pro here, getting it done with a nice spray down. And then, I don't know, pushing with that USP I thought was crazy, but it worked out. He found his 3rd kill.
Yeah, he just goes to show how much confidence he has, that he's thinking in the back of his mind, like, I got this. I can push through with the USP, even though there's armor. I know there's a high chance I may end up dying. He's got so much confidence in himself to pull that off. It doesn't do just that. So 3-on-3 in terms of rounds. All 10 players still alive here, though, in round 7. Bomb still in the hands of Tabson in mid. I can see a God B. He's just going to be throwing that Molotov into underpass, I should say, which is going to stop the push for now. One player did snake his way through, but mouessports find themselves in a pretty good position overall. Chris J's the only player that could be a bit vulnerable, but he survives long enough and picks himself up a kill. Very nearly a second. Nico is there to avenge him. Nicely done. Another day though, he gets picked off first. That's horrible. Nico gets a second one. I was watching from the perspective of Tarsin. He could not see a single thing. His head just got took clean off his shoulders. The op is still in play though from Crystal. It's a 2-on-2 with 30 seconds to play.
Yeah, Spitty able to find it. Nico, nice little pre-fire there as he peeks out towards the steps. Next coming in with the Mag 7 hazard. He will be able to jump and shoot over these boxes, which I thought was going to work out there for a second. But now as he peeks wide to kind of ring around the rosy, Spitty from Connector is able to shoot down next. That'll leave Gombi in a 1 versus 2. The bomb finally to get planted here. That Molotov going down will probably alert Gombi that there is a player in Connector. Actually, Gombi himself. Oh, I thought for a second he was maybe going to look out towards the window to find that kill. Maybe going to go CT and try for this, but with no kit, he will just scurry off and save this gun for the next round. Money is tight over there on the mouessports side, and Penta putting up quite a fight here.
They certainly are. One of those players that we highlighted, Nex versus Tabson, and so far Tabson's only got... Sorry, Nex has only got himself 1 frag and 6 deaths, so he hasn't really been a factor so far. Hopefully from mouessports he is going to step things up. I will say, though, that from Nex, he typically does very well on T-sides. I feel like he gets a lot of entry frags. He's the kind of guy that definitely can step things up, so... Still early days here on Mirage, but Penta having a fantastic start. This will be an eco as well for mouessports, so Penta are able to already pick themselves up maybe 5 or 6 rounds on this half. Awesome stuff from them. Was their choice of map though, right? Yeah, Penta picked Mirage and Mouse picked Dust 2.
Yeah, the Dust 2 map is going to be the one I'm slightly more interested in. mouessports have some ridiculous results on that map against some of the top teams in the world. Very looking forward to seeing what mouessports is going to bring out on Dust 2. But of course, Penta no slouches on that map either, and clearly no slouches overall as they're about to take a 5-3 lead to get that bomb down again. There's the one rifle that was saved by mouessports, going to go down. And Spitty to finish it off with a kill on to next. But another rifle round now coming out for mouessports. But not, oh, maybe not even. They
Double
can knock
eco,
at
I'd
their
say.
economy, man. They need a stimulus package.
They do. You can see a couple of players going for a bit of Kevlar with pistols, so we'll be able to afford a decent buy up next round. But we're not seeing everyone going for this. Chris J's gonna have enough for an AWP next round if he wants it, which I'm assuming he will on Mirage. But yeah, this is a pretty horrendous start for mouessports. They were hoping that the scorelines would be reversed here. You know, you're expecting the CTs to pick up more rounds than the terrorists, but so far so good. Crystal peeking around the corner of the P250 because his other weapon is the AWP, and just in case someone is close range, that P250 is capable of just dinking players down. Double nade onto Van. No one is there though for mouessports. Look at this from Nico. Very aggressive push up. That's kind of what you have to do in pistol rounds. You know, you've got to get any info, any possible advantages you can get up for yourself, and this is going to give them a bit of info. That's probably going to be a B stack, which allows the rest of the CTs to stack on this site.
Yeah, this
Question
can
now
actually work.
Is Penta going to fall for the trap?
And Nico's even starting to push further through. He's all the way in T-spawn right now. He's checking A ramp, it looks like, and well, with the smokes. Oh, they're trying to throw out these smokes like they're going towards A, so some set smokes over towards A, but they are actually coming to B. And here they go. It'll be Tassin to take point. He's already spotted Chris J, brought him down to about half HP. Dennis is the man you're really looking for here to make, if they even get to him actually. Chris J and Neck each finding one, and now Dennis is able to strike. And with that CZ, peeks out, almost finding another. Causes some confusion, lets Chris J find it, and running right into the stack. And the gamble will pay off for mouessports. That's what you love to see from CTs on kind of eco force buys.
Yep. And for me, those kind of rounds, there's such a bigger chance of you clutching rounds than if you play standard. Because if you play standard, yes, maybe you trade back a kill or two at most, but by and large, the assault rifles are going to overrun the pistols. But in doing that, you saw that Penta, a couple of them got picked off in apps, and they kind of stayed there a bit too long for me against the Deagle. Push onto the site, there's a boost up onto the site, there's a CZ close range, and from there on in, it's easy peasy. So mouessports, that's a huge round for them. Going to give them a much better chance now of getting some momentum on the board because their economy just spikes up. And indeed, Chris J has picked himself up and all. Very aggressive push through mid as well, actually. 3 players in mid for the time being for mouessports. One of which was God B. He's now going to be maneuvering his way onto the B side of things. And in doing so, Penta now have to go back to the drawing board and figure out where they want to go from here.
Why does Tapson... Oh, right. Yeah, they just got eco'd. I was like, why does Tapson have a Deagle? Things were going so well. But even still, they'll knock him down to a Deagle off just one loss right there. Chris J going to peek out from connector. He will find Crystal, and now we'll take a third-person look here. Spitty trying to wait for that smoke. And they will go for a 1-3 split over here onto the A site. Smoke going to go down towards CT. That'll block off Dennis, but the rotation from Nico and Chris J up through the connector. And Dennis will actually shut down Strux. Spitty's still trying to get his way out of Palace, and while he steps down for Chris J, will chop him down, and Dennis to close it off with the CZ. So very big round for mouessports, keeping every single person alive as Penta were kind of forcing up there. Like I mentioned, Tapson on just a Deagle, so their money is broken, and mouessports can finally start to build themselves a lead.
They can indeed, but they have to keep this up. They get eco'd now, or if Penta do manage to pull back a few more rounds towards the end of this, it's going to get very interesting, very close indeed. Again, though, I think although Mirage is CT-sided, I feel, again, it's the kind of map where the T can definitely get a lot of rounds, and I don't feel like it's quite as one-sided as a map like Inferno is, for example. But Chris J has spotted himself 2 players, and able to land either of those shots in mid. You see all 5 players actually potentially maneuvering their way up mid, and Nico has felt this. That flashbang, not fantastic, I've got to say, from the CTs. That pretty much fully flashed Nico. I'm not sure if that was miscommunication or Nico just hanging out there for a bit too long. He spotted himself Crystal. There is going to be movement towards his left-hand side. A nice trade for Penta. That's a P250 shot onto Nico. Potentially going to get this weapon as well. They do get the AK-47. So this isn't going to be quite as easy as mouessports were first anticipating. Oh, that one dig, though.
Nicely done. Next, going to bring down Tapson. And I'm being told apparently it is Struxy and not just Strux. For Struxy here. I don't know if I feel comfortable saying that. I've been saying Strux for so long. But here he goes. He gets a kill onto Chris J. He's now left in a 1 versus 3. Penta have actually done a pretty good job to make this hurt the CTs a little bit. mouessports was very much hoping to keep everybody alive there, build up their bank, which has actually been built up quite a bit over the last 3 rounds. I mean, they kept 4 people alive in round 9, 5 people alive in round 10, and then the 3 there in round 11. So that's always going to be pretty nice for the CT side.
So has it been confirmed, Struxy, or are you being trolled?
Who knows, honestly.
That's the thing, when people have like ones at the end of their name, you never quite know. Because there's quite a few people. You got like the Dash one as well, we were casting the other day. I don't know, man. Well, either way, this team Penta are in an AK round this time around. They've only got 2 smokes left remaining with a long time to play with. But Chris J falls into the trap. Tabson was laid there and wait. Nico again opens up. Dennis is in shadow. And they lock out this A attack. The bomb has been dropped as well. Tabson's managed to get himself onto the stairs. There's the first one, looking for a second, but God B shuts him down. And indeed will claim that 7th round for mouessports. So looks like they've weathered the initial storm from Penta, and now Penta have a decision to make. Do they just want to save? I'd like them to. There's still rounds to play with here on this half.
Well, I mean, at this point, you can go for Tech 9, some nades, or Tech 9 and Kevlar, because you got the max bonus coming in if you lose. As that's 4 rounds now in a row for mouessports, which they've kept a lot of people alive. Some at the start of this round were into the 5 digits, up towards 11k, but having to rebuy, so down to 7, down to near 8. But that's very, very good considering how mouessports started this half off. It was so rocky. They had like, I almost feel like they had 2 double ecos, and that was a really, really rough start for them. But they're starting to rebound right now. Nico once again going to find a kill, but will go down there to Strux. And Dennis now over towards Ticket, trying to jump up, trying to hit an op shot, but will miss. Now the 22 HP now, he's going to fall away with a nice little pop flash off the wall. Might have actually affected his teammates a little bit as they were trying to charge in as well to help him out. Biddy going to go in and fight for CT control, jumps right in to the pit of the CTs. 3 were just waiting for him right there. So it's a 4-on-3 for mouessports. They got to go for the 3-pick. Tapson moving in. Oh, Nex actually takes down Dennis. Chris J will get Tapson out of the round. And look at Tasson. He's coming in through CT. They might not expect this. Time's getting low. Hits a 1-dig and is able to retreat. Throw a flash, buy even more time. They're so blind. He's got to get this kill, though. That player is still defusing. And Tasson nearly making a sick play. Still finds 2 1-digs, but, I mean, probably should have won that round.
Well, the interesting thing there is they stacked up, so it's going to do less damage to the bomb diffuser, but also the guy who was on the site there was just like bobbing up and down, so his head wasn't in the same position, and it's pretty nice actually in those kind of situations to just keep moving, even if you have to be stationary, like just make sure that the easy headshot isn't there. Unfortunate for Tassin, I actually felt as though if that's like a 5-7 or a Tech 9, he probably wins that round. Deagle for me it's just so inconsistent as a pistol. I hate using it personally, but that being said, that's in the past. We're going to focus on the future, and that sees Penta with another buy-up round, and a decent one as well. Crystal with another AWP. Hasn't done a lot with this, only on 7 for 9. But he has got quite a few impact frags. And speaking of impact, that's pretty much just Nico in a nutshell, this game. He's been getting so many kills, like 6 spray downs, locking out connector. He's consistently been here. And Penta now is struggling for ideas after it looked like this could go heavily in their favour. Next now on the van's going to be throwing up the Molotov that stops the initial push with the smoke as well, and the flashbang. Penta still have time to play with.
Yeah, Nico has been electric for that position near the connector. Always good for at least 1. We've seen many multi-kills from him. Even a few triples as all Struxy trying to work his way up the catwalk. Will be gunned down by Dom B next to get 2 as well. That's from the van position. And time for the rotation as Chris J is there coming in through the market. Hits the op shot onto Tassin, and that'll be the round 9-5. Looks like mouessports, it was looking really shaky at the start. Looks like they will end up, well, maybe with the 10-5. All right, probably with the 10-5. I should say Penta maybe with the 9-6 half, as they will have a full buy coming in here. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, I feel like Penta need this round pretty desperately. I'm not sure if 5 rounds is going to be enough against mouessports T side. So this is a pressure round. Tassin not respecting the Molotov, will push through that, and really does come out worse for wear. 24 HP, didn't do a great deal of damage to Nico either. He gets the frag on Nico, completely worth, but now with that first kill going the way of mouessports, which was Crystal, who again is silenced without doing anything. mouessports in such a good position. Pop flash from Nico. Not going to bother to peek just yet. In fact, he does go in afterwards. It's still wrecked Spiddy. Spiddy was flashed for so long. Take 2. Here we go again. Smoke has landed. Nico's going to push through the smoke, and he is going to reap the rewards of the aggression. frag onto Spiddy. Bomb has been dropped. There's another one from Nex, and this is going to be a clear-cut round for mouessports potentially. Indeed it will. Struxy gets picked off. 10-5 for mouessports. They were currently, well, at one point they were 5-3 behind and then won 7 rounds in a row to finish off the half.
Yeah, for a second I was like, these 90-10 odds, they don't make any sense. Like, look at this. Penta, even with their substitutes, I mean, I guess getting an old teammate back in Spitty, but having Tassin in for Killerfish, I mean, they were looking fantastic for a little bit there. And actually, Spitty with the highest efficacy and the most kills here for Penta's lineup. He goes 11 kills, 12 deaths with 9.4 efficacy. But, I mean, look at Nico. He's got 4 first kills, 2 4Ks, 1 3K. So that's 5 multi-kill rounds in total for him. 17 and 9. I mean, he was a big part of that. He was even getting those multi-kill rounds, and they were losing. Like that one round he got that 3K, they actually lost. So this could have been a lot worse from Penta, but I mean, I noticed they had some pretty cool strats, especially the one also where they lost, where they were kind of throwing the fake into A, like those smokes towards middle and into A from the B apartments. And that was the round where it was kind of that eco save stack towards the B site with just, I think it was Nico pushing through A palace. Like, I mean, that strat on a rifle round probably would have worked magnificently, but you know, they kind of run into a gamble stack. I don't know. It looks like Penta were prepared for this map, but maybe just the aim of Nico in particular, getting to them.
The crazy thing about Nico as well, as you said, I didn't even realize he was as young as you mentioned, but 18. This guy's got a long career ahead of him if, of course, he wants to stick around the esports scene. Like, give him a few years, I think this guy will be at the very top of the standings. Because right now, I would say, it's fair to say he's a star player for mouessports. He can hold his own against some of the top teams in the world, and there's just good things to come from him. I think he's definitely one to watch for in the future. That being said, speaking of which, it looks like mouessports will be opting for the B push. They have noticed a couple players, and in doing so, they could fall back or even go through underpass and up towards connector. But no, it looks like they are hungry to go on to B. It's Dennis who's taking point with that bomb. Spot tossed in. Are they going to expect the 2 players here, though? I'm not entirely sure about that. Still, there's so much time to play with. They are trying to mind game out the CTs.
Oh, I'm very much enjoying reading the MLG chat today because there's a lot of German going on. I'm like, I used to speak German pretty well. I'm like really trying to brush up here. This is fun. This is a good exercise for me. It's distracting me a little bit from the game, but there's Spitty with a nice headshot onto Nex. Nico there for the trade out with the Glock. That is the Glock train. From the top of middle. I think maybe a few went in from underpass. But now up into connector all the way towards the A site. Taps in, lit up to 12 HP. And wow, God being able to fight some of that aim punch and find that frag onto Tapsin. He was low, but it was a headshot anyways. And there's Dennis. After just planting the bomb and retreating out of the site, will find Tassin. And now it is going to be Struxy in the 1 versus 3.
That running drive-by headshot through smoke, though, was pretty disgusting. Struxy now, as you said, in a 1v3, no defuse kit, no smokes or flashes to enter onto the site with. And I think he's just going to back away and save that Kevlar. Which typically you don't want to see someone do, but I suppose in a hopeless scenario like this, it's better than nothing. His crosshair was a bit too low there. I mean, he's aiming around the chest, finally does get the headshot onto Dennis. But the round is going to still go the way of a mouse. And if Struxy will have to save that Kevlar, looks like he will. So at least he won't be suffering from aim punch in this round if they want to put him with some... Okay, there we go, a scout. So maybe he's going to... Is he going to keep that, or do you feel he's going to give that to Crystal? Oh, looks like he's going to just keep it.
Does he have a spawn going for him? Let's see. Not really.
That's a bit strange, because Crystal's the AWP, you know, he's a guy that will pick up the scout as well, so... interesting.
I don't know. You see it sometimes where, I mean, Krister is one of the guys that will definitely go for the scout and the op, but a lot of teams, I mean, that will drop using the scout won't necessarily put it on their opper every time, if even ever. So I don't know. It's just something different. I mean, the scout does feel really different when compared to the op, especially since the op got slowed down with the scoping speed. But the scout feels like it honestly got increased. And it's obviously just a cheesier gun. I mean, you can jump scout, you can no-scope fairly easy. A bit more accurate when shooting that way. And, well, it is also good with the scope to scout for information. I would imagine that's how it got its name. As Struxy will see one in the connector there.
He did. Pinged off across a couple of times. He's on top of the ticket booth. But that smoke has perfectly shielded the push, well, momentarily did at least. The T aggression through short. One player has fallen. Strux is now relocated to Van. That's a lovely shot onto God B. That makes this round very interesting indeed, especially as Tabson and Tarsin both pick up a frag with their deagles. And now it's on Nico, 1 versus 5, 25 seconds to play with the bombs in a horrible spot. There's really no hope of him clutching this round. I think what he's looking for is exit frags. Try and take some weapons away from the pesky CTs. But Penta with a bit of a shock win here on this round, and it looks as though they're going to keep all their players alive as well. That is absolute perfection as far as they're concerned.
Yeah, that's very nice. Nico, what
wow.
try to do here? He'll get actually just run down by the UMP. Oh, did they kill him after time as well?
Yeah.
$0? Oh my gosh.
But it's brutal in so many different ways. He's got $0. It's another AK-47 to Penta. And of course, that's now a Kevlar and AK that they could have maybe went for an entry fragger with. That's no longer on the table. So it's like a triple whammy, so to speak, for mouessports. So Penta just getting everything their way that round.
So that gives Penta a little bit of a way back into this, starting off their CT side. I mean, they lost the pistol, of course, which isn't great, but they're going to end up starting their CT side off a lot better than mouessports did. We were struggling to buy up until like round 7. Here you go. It's kind of just a blender out towards middle. Struxy with that Galil going to find another 2. 3K for Crystal as well prior to that. And it's a pretty even affair in terms of kills for Penta. You know, 12 being the highest, 8 being the lowest. There's not really too much of a difference at all. When you, I mean, you look at God B, who is known as a, you know, a very intelligent player, maybe calling some more complex strats. And even still, I mean, it's 7 and 8. That's not a bad scoreline. But Nico with 19, most people in the double digits. There are only so many people to kill.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? If you've got a guy who's just on fire and he's picking up, I think you said like a bunch of multi-kills as well. For Nico on the CT side, like there's not much that you can get. You know, you're feeding off scraps for the rest of mouessports, but of course you win as a team, you lose as a team. That's really the stat that matters. And here's the one at the top of the screen, which says that mouessports is still 4 rounds ahead. I feel that's going to be somewhat brought back here after this round. Penta have the weapons, mouessports simply do not. They do have a couple of Tech 9s, in fact 3 Tech 9s and a PT-50 in play, with some Kevlar as well and a smoke. And decent enough positions thus far. Look at Dennis, like a complete... You can see the difference stylistically between Penta and Mouse on their CT sides as well. mouessports were consistently in-connected. They had Nico in there, Chris J was also pushing. Sometimes they were even looking through mid, like very aggressive. Whereas Penta, happy enough to just back away and give up connector. And looking for the retake plays. That being said, look at Spiddy. He's aggressive. He's waiting just outside of T-Apps, and he is ready to strike. That UMP is going to do so much damage here. He steps down, though, and in doing so, it puts his crosshair a bit too low, so he's not able to connect the subsequent headshots. He falls down and does give mouessports a chance now. They're rotating onto A, and they should be able to get on this site. The key man right now is going to be Tabson. He's at the CT boxes. He could potentially fend this off.
Yeah, they actually do have Struxy moving around the back. He was pushed up towards underpass, but no one had went that way as they started to back up towards T-spawn. So now that's where you find Struxy, but Tassin trying to hold on, will find a kill onto Gombi, but is taken out by Nico, who picked up that UMP. So now it's all going to fall onto Struxy with that Galil. He knows that one is falling into sandwich. He's going to realize that Nico's in the site, sees that flash, and Dennis getting real close, and some of that confusion is able to just one-shot Struxy away and out of the round. So wow, a lot of eco rounds being won. That's like the third one.
Yeah. It's just opposite world again, right? Like, this is what happened yesterday a bunch of times as well, where you're expecting a team, you know, especially in that round. That's so huge for Penta to not lose that. You've got every advantage going for you. It's a chance to finally pull us back to like an 11-8, which is still well and truly behind, but at least then you can build up the momentum. And suddenly, boom, you're on a FAMAS, your economy is really poor. If you lose this, you're on an eco, and all the pressure is now on their shoulders. That's how important these ecos or anti-ecos are for these teams.
Right, well, over towards B site, we do have Struxy as well as Tassin playing it. Oh, Nico's actually going to open up the rounds. That's from A ramp. He's just the one man that was put over there. And he'll find a kill for just half of his HP. He'll take that trade any day. As Spiddy out of the round. And Spiddy has been a pretty big player here for Penta, despite still remaining on mouessports as the 6th man. which I do find quite comical, or at least that's what the old news was. Maybe Spitty has asked to be let go and go back towards Penta. I wonder.
Yeah, maybe a lot of things behind the scenes that we couldn't possibly know. Just kind of speculate at this point. But it definitely is quite a curious little play there from Penta. And it should be mentioned as well, they do have two stand-ins. They line up for Struxy. Probably should have got both those frags. Instead, he gets traded out. That puts Penta on a 4-on-2. Yes, Dennis is low. But it doesn't seem to matter because Crystal's fallen. It leaves us with the star player of Tabson. And he's had a bit of a quiet game today as well, 11 for 17. So the two players that we said to watch out for, neither of them are performing like terribly, but 11-17, 11-15, not quite the scores we're expecting to see.
Yeah, not quite. Dust 2 might be a bit better of a showing, as it seems like Mirage is maybe getting a little out of hand. That was unfortunate. I think Penta would have been good for quite a few more rounds had they not been ecoed there. Would have had those rifles a bit longer, stronger rounds. But now that mouessports has upset that CT economy and just get to run over them for some free rounds like this, that's got to hurt. This is going to put mouessports out to 14. That puts Penta in a spot where now they pretty much always are going to have to force up, playing for the win. Unless they really believe in themselves and maybe take another eco to get a big rifle round out. But things can get difficult real fast.
Certainly can. Tassin, your last remaining player, in a decent angle. PC50, though, generally it's a spot where people will hide in these kind of scenarios, so I think it's just, you know, pretty much called out to mouessports. They keep all 5 players alive, but I think, you know, maybe the early map heroics from Penta are just dying off a tiny bit. This is last chance saloon for them on Mirage. They lose this round, it's pretty much a 2-for-1.
This isn't even that big of a buy-in. They had about 4K, maybe mid 4Ks. Yep. I think 55 or 45.50 was the highest amount of money they had, and that's not a lot. That's good for a smoke, 2 flashes, no head armor, and an M4. So it's going to be tough. They're going to have to do this one just hitting their shots. There's not a whole lot of smoke to fend people off. And Chris J, well, he will give them an opportunity. He peeks out aggressive, misses his shot, and Tassin is able to capitalize on that. And that was 3 towards B initially. I wonder if they'll now slide one off and kind of just play default since they've got the advantage. As Wow taps in towards the stairs. He wants another shot at that. He will throw this flash over through the smoke, though. His barrel must be sticking out because that makes a second kill for Nico very, very easy. The flash that was thrown wasn't very effective. Crystal and Strux trying to bring this one back with 2 kills of their own, but next answering with a double. And that leaves Crystal on 16 HP, scared, alone, caught in some smoke. And then a 1-on-2, and again, having to push through that smoke. The M4, that silencer, is always going to give you away as it just alerts the enemy of your presence. And now that's mouessports on to match point.
Yeah, forcing whatever they can get in, of course. There's no point trying to go for an eco for those of you that are new to CS. I'm sure maybe some of you. Of course, it's first to 16 wins, so mouessports are just on the brink here. 8 rounds consecutively required from Penta to take us into overtime. I think both teams now will be eyeing up that Dust 2, although Tabson is going to make things a bit more difficult. Not going to be giving this map away on a plate to mouessports. Going to make a go of this. Crystal with the Mag 7 as well. Maybe this is what they needed earlier. You know, maybe this ruthless aggression has came a few rounds too late from Penta. It's all well and good doing it now when you're freed up and kind of assuming that you are going to lose the map, but this call comes in early, who knows, maybe this could have been much closer. Tabson now through connector, that pop flash is going to completely wreck him. Is he going to check the spot though? I don't think so. God B, it's not long for this world, I think. There we go, it's been picked off. The bomb dropped in connector as well. And this should be Penta picking up the first of those 8 required rounds. You'd think. But there's still 2 players alive.
Now, connector is like one of the most awkward spots on Mirage for me. When people start throwing that smoke down that doesn't you know, completely close off either side of it. I guess the only smoke that closes it off is if it lands where Tabson is kind of standing now. But that smoke that lands on the steps inside of it creates such a weird kind of one-way for people on Cat towards the A site, and then generally the CTs will push up to that first small wooden box, kind of get on top to look up and see people pushing through it. But then, you know, you start looking down the stairs and the terrorist kind of just walks up the other side and kills you. It's so awkward. Not a fan.
Absolutely. I think Penta, you know, if we're going to give them a little glimmer of chance, even if it's just 1% chance to come back from this, they've got to take each round at a time. Don't let the situation get away from you. And maybe the fact that they are now, you know, a bit more freed up, nothing to lose mentality.
Yeah, that's true.
they can start to have a bit more fun with this as well. Because I feel like a lot of teams do tense up. You know, you start to see they play very passive, and on maps like Mirage, aggression can be key on the CT side. Otherwise, mousesports can turn the screw. You know, they can tighten the noose on your CT side. They're very good at exploiting weaknesses. And here we go. But he's playing aggressive. Yes, he gets picked off, but if the avenging frags come in, it's no problem. That being said, Nico and Chris J are going to shut down Penta Sports' A defense, and with authority too. And this is a fantastic position for mousesports to be in. Tayson and Struxy, your last two remaining players. And I think that pretty much sums it up.
Oh, he's got the no gravity boots on. Hasn't had equipped those, so you know, just hanging in the air a little bit longer.
Nice.
Nothing to see here. You can't boost that, guys. I'm not sure.
Why doesn't he put his no gravity boots on again and boost Struxy
He
up?
probably should equip his no gravity boots again. Well, they will get a player pushing it from behind Dennis, maybe getting a bit aggressive, a bit bored perhaps, but they did have a big advantage to grab some information. Still leaves them with a 3-on-2 post plant in a very good positions. Tassin will be able to get to touch the bomb. As I like that death cam, one of the CTs will just take a little nap there in the lap of the terrorist. Which I don't even know if that's on screen, but that's Mirage going the way of mousesports 16-8. Actually started off really rough for them. You know, mousesports grabs the pistol, they get the second round, they get upset there on the third by Penta, who get 3 in a row, and then another 2 in a row after just a one-off win for mousesports. Put their economy kind of in ruins until about round 9, and at that point, with the 7 rounds in a row, mousesports looking very good on the CT side. They continue on getting a pistol. Penta once again upset them. Lots of ecos here. And I even think there was an eco later on in the second half as well. So pretty fun to watch. It seems like, I mean, generally you don't see so many like true ecos winning, right? Like those weren't even full 5-7 CZ armors or Tech 9 armor rushes. They were just like gambling and stacking, one man looking for information, and these teams kind of knowing each other. So that was exciting to see, I got to say, even though it was a bit one-sided in the end. But we're going to get to see some more great Counter-Strike coming up on map number 2. That'll be Dust 2. So thanks for watching here, the CEVO MLG Pro League. We've got this second map and another series that'll be eFrag versus Property coming up after this. Myself, Helium, and Metuz with me. We hope you'll stay tuned, and we'll be right back after a quick commercial break.